generals who swore to protect and defend the Constitution, get to protecting and defending. Because need I remind you, that dude said this.
I told Pete we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military. Because we're going into Chicago very soon. That's a big city with an incompetent governor, stupid governor.
So that's illegal and it's against the Constitution. Let's review what the Constitution says, shall we? We shall. The Third Amendment of the Constitution that they swore to protect and defend clearly states, no soldier in time of peace shall be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. What's the law? So glad you asked that. Posse Comitatus Act of 1878. Whoever, except in cases and under circumstances expressly authorized by the Constitution or an act of Congress, willfully uses any part of the Army, Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, or the Space Force as a posse comitatus or otherwise to execute the laws shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 2 years or both. In layman's terms, without an act of Congress, you cannot use the military as police. There it is. He's violating the Constitution. Damn, do something. Paging Captain Obvious, the guy talking about the enemy from within, is exactly that. Like for real, generals, like what are we paying you for from our tax dollars? Because if you want to really talk about the enemy from within, let's talk about the Heritage Foundation and all the right-wing billionaires backing it, which came from the Powell Memo of 1971, which framed the gains from the civil rights movement as a bad thing. Since that time, everything that the conservative establishment in this country has done has been to reverse the Civil Rights Act. We are living in the end game of a 53-year plan to roll back the clock. When we think about what conservatives want for the country, this is it. They've been so good at what they do, they've even neutralized the Democrats. If you think you was not gonna catch the smoke, you was wrong. Here to smoke for y'all. They drug the Democrats so far to the right, you are effectively neutralized when it comes to meeting the needs of the people who elect you. Because damn the fact that you don't do nothing for the working class, black folks, or the people of Gaza, we have a legally viable case of possible election interference. Smart Elections, who is filing the Rockland County lawsuit, proving that there was tampering in this last election, sent the information to Kamala Harris's campaign and she did nothing. They literally dragging democracy off the rails and you want to wait till 2026? Ain't gonna be no 2026, they keep this up. You really can't see this 5-alarm fire? That's crazy. Did you hear what Pete Hegseth said to those generals? He talking about throwing out all Geneva Conventions and just killing folks and breaking stuff against the enemies of the United States. And he has defined those enemies as folks who don't agree with Trump. He means you, Democrat advisors and elected officials who want to sit on your hands. Now, speaking of amendments, both sides need to be arguing for the 25th Amendment. Just say the dude ain't competent, he done lost his mind and needs to be removed from office peaceably. Because I promise you this, if the last amendment that is left for the people is the second, we have been failed by both parties and the military generals who did this polite non-clapping but didn't speak up for us. If all that is needed for evil to prosper is for good men to do nothing, then in that room of generals, I hope we had a few good men. Share this message out to somebody who needs a reminder of what the Constitution actually says, who's in violation of it, and who could do something about it.